Dhritrashtra was blind materially and also spiritually. He was very deeply attached to his sons, of which he had 100 sons. And so the Bhagavad Gita begins by Dhritarashtra putting his inquiry that what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do, being desirous to fight? So Dhritarashtra reveals his attachment. And that attachment, of course, it is natural that someone is attached to their sons. But in this situation, it was not good because Dhritarashtra had also some connection to the Pandavas. They were his relatives. And the Pandavas, they were without their father. Pandu had died. And so Dhritarashtra was meant to be taking care of the Pandavas. He was meant to be their stepfather. But when they came at Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra was inquiring, my sons and the sons of Pandu. He made a distinction. He couldn't see the connection between the two. And he thought of the Pandavas as being against his interests. So this bodily conception of life, this is of course condemned in the Bhagavad Gita. But this bodily conception of life, this is part of human nature, we would call it. Human nature, conditioned souls, right? There are two kinds of souls. We have conditioned souls and liberated souls. Or we would say Nitya Bada and Nitya Mukta. Nitya meaning eternally. Eternally conditioned and eternally liberated souls. But don't worry, even though we are Nitya Bada, even though we are conditioned souls, we don't have to remain conditioned souls. We use the word Nitya Bada, eternally, in the sense that it's been a very long time that we've been in the material world. Since a very long time we've been in this material existence. And now Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to try to deliver all of us from the conditioned state of life. Conditioned state of life means we identify with the body and everything in relation to the body. We're thinking, I am this body and this is mine. Or we would say, aham and mam iti. So thinking, I am the body, we think, then my duty is to satisfy my senses, the demands of the senses. Certainly, having a material body requires to take care of the body and to maintain it. We need to eat, we need to sleep. Certain demands of the body are there, they have to be met. So conditioned life is not very easy. It's not very pleasant being a conditioned soul, because we suffer a lot because of our different desires. So some people try to become desireless. They try to stop desire. But that in itself is not the real process. Trying to stop desire puts us into an artificial condition. We're thinking, no desire. And we don't want to do anything. So this type of negation is not recommended for successful spiritual practice. We don't want to see, we don't want to hear, we don't want to speak. We want to stop all the senses. But that is not how it's meant to be. We've been given these senses. We have to learn how to use them properly. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us how we can use our senses in the service of Krishna. Just like Arjuna. In the beginning, he was thinking he did not want to fight because he thought that these are my relatives. And these are my family members. I should not fight them. And Arjuna was thinking to go away from the battlefield. But after he heard the Bhagavad Gita, then he was convinced. Lord Krishna convinced him that he had a higher purpose, a higher duty in life. And that required him to take part in the battle at Kurukshetra. And of course, Arjuna went on to become the hero of the Kurukshetra war. So we learn from the Bhagavad Gita how to use this human life. It's very important for us to be guided by spiritual knowledge. And spiritual knowledge is there in scriptures. The scriptures are presented for the benefit of mankind. The animals cannot read scriptures. They're meant for mankind. Just like it said, in the beginning of creation, Lord Krishna imparted the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahma. Right? Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. The Vedic knowledge was put into the heart of Lord Brahma. And like this, the Vedic knowledge is passed down. It comes to Manu, and Manu presents it for the people. We have books like Manu Samhita, which are guidelines for the human beings, for men, how to live in the world. So Shastra are very important, but Shastras have many different interpretations. It is stated in Mahabharata, there's a verse spoken by grandfather Bhishma. He says, Tako Pratishta Shrutayo Vibhina. Tako Pratishta Shrutayo Vibhina. He's saying, dry arguments are inconclusive. That's Tako Pratishta. And then Shrutayo Vibhina. The Shruti, the Vedic literature, present also many different conclusions. Different people will interpret the scriptures in different ways. Just like Bhagavad Gita. Although Bhagavad Gita is not Shruti, it is actually from Mahabharata. Shruti means the four Vedas. But Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, that is Smriti. And Bhagavad Gita is much easier, but still it is interpreted in so many different ways. There are so many different editions of the Bhagavad Gita, and they all give different messages. And sometimes even politicians will take the Bhagavad Gita and use it to present their message. So Srila Prabhupada called his Bhagavad Gita as it is, because he's presenting the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita in a very simple manner, in an authorized way, as it's presented by the Parampara, by the great Acharyas in the line of the cyclic succession. So Bhagavad Gita is very important literature for guiding people in this human life. in our Krishna consciousness movement, it's the #1 selling book. Of all the books we have, it's the Bhagavad Gita which is the most popular, the most widely distributed. And it's not hard to understand why, because the Bhagavad Gita is presenting the basic principles of spiritual knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita begins, the first chapter begins, as I said, well, first verse, Dhritrashtra is speaking to Sanjay and he's asking about his sons. So then Sanjay begins to describe the situation on the battlefield. And he tells about Duryodhana and how Duryodhana is speaking to his soldiers. And on the side of Duryodhana you have great generals like grandfather Bhishma and Drona, also the Acharya. So Duryodhana wants to encourage his soldiers. Just like before a big event, the coach will give a pep talk to everyone. He wants everyone to be really on their toes and really enthusiastic, and they should be confident also of victory. That's also important. So Duryodhana is speaking like that to his army. He wants them to be confident that they can be victorious, that they can go out there and fight. But there are omens, there are other things which indicate it's not going to be so easy for them. There are different omens which are indicating victory for the Pandavas. And one of these things is that Lord Krishna is on the side of the Pandavas. And Lord Krishna is the husband of the goddess of fortune. So that's a very significant factor in the favor of the Pandavas. There were other things, like the battle was taking place at Kurukshetra. And Kurukshetra is Dharmakshetra. It's a holy place. You can go there. Have you all been to Kurukshetra? Yes, we should go there to see the holy place of Kurukshetra. It's on the map. Right? You can go there and offer respects. You can see Grandfather Bhishma is there on his bed of arrows. Lord Krishna is depicted there on his chariot. And there's a huge big lake there also where you can take bath. So Kurukshetra has been a place of pilgrimage for many, many, many years, long before the Kurukshetra war. And many great yogis and sages went there and did tapasya and performed yagyas there. So that's in the favor of the Pandavas, because the Pandavas are righteous. And then another sign in favor of the Pandavas is that on the flag of Arjuna there is Hanuman. And Hanuman, we know that Hanuman, he brought victory for Lord Ramachandra in the battle at Lanka. So now the battle at Kurukshetra is coming up, and Arjuna has got Hanuman on his flag. Srila Prabhupada explains the significance of Hanuman on the flag. He said, we should always pray to the previous acharyas in anything which we do. Pray to the previous acharyas for our success. So just like Hanuman, he's the previous acharya in the battle at Lanka. He helped so much for Lord Ramachandra to get victory over Ravan. And so Arjuna has got Hanuman on his flag, and he's praying to the previous acharya. That just as Hanuman fought so nicely for Lord Ramachandra, Arjuna is praying, let me also fight to fulfill the will of Lord Sri Krishna. Also, like I said, there are different signs there which indicate that the Pandavas are going to be victorious in the battle of Kurukshetra. And then at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna will also, well, not Lord Krishna, but rather Sanjay, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay says, wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there will be four things. There will be victory, morality, extraordinary power, and opulence. And so in this way, Sanjay, he told Dhritrashtra the situation that his sons were not, they didn't really have much hope of victory. So this is the message from the Bhagavad Gita, that we need to take shelter of Lord Krishna. And how to take shelter of Lord Krishna in this Kali Yuga is taught to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's taught us all to chant the holy name. The chanting of the holy name is the Yuga Dharma. In every age there's a different process by which we can develop our religiosity. Just like in the Satya Yuga, the process was meditation. People lived a long life. Today, in the Kali Yuga, we don't have a very long life. We have a short life. And it is described, and it was predicted by Vyasadeva. In the Bhagavad Purana, he describes that people in the Kali Yuga will have a short life. And we're not very well qualified also. We're somewhat lazy when it comes to spiritual practice. It's one of the obstacles which we face in trying to become spiritually, to make progress. We're a little bit lazy. We think, oh, so much trouble, right? to do things, to read the books, to recite mantras, to go to temple, these things. But we should understand, in the Kali Yuga, everything is made very easy for us. We just have to chant the Maha Mantra. That is the main thing. The chanting of the holy names. You can chant other mantras also, but the Maha Mantra is the one which was recommended by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he taught the chanting of the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra. Other mantras are there, you can chant, like Vishnu Sahasranam, and that's said to be equal to one name of Lord Ram. And so you can chant the name of Lord Ram, but the name of Lord Rama is equal, the three names of Lord Ram is equal to one name of Lord Krishna. So the name of Lord Krishna is very powerful. And when you chant the Maha Mantra, Krishna's name is there, and Lord Rama's name is also there. So Rama can mean Lord Ramachandra. It may mean also Lord Balarama, Krishna's older brother. And it may also mean Radharaman also. It may also mean the name of Krishna. So it's up to every individual how you want to think of the Lord. Some people are Ram Bhaktas, some people are Vishnu Bhaktas, some people like to worship Lord Narasimha, Narasimha Avatar, very popular within our ISKCON society. Some people like to worship Lord Varaha. we like to worship Lord Krishna, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also there. You can worship Gaur-Nitai. Here you can see some of the deities from our temples. There's Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, which is in the Juhu temple. And there's Radha Madhava and the 8 gopis, which are the deities in Mayapur. Right? And then on the far end we have, this is Radha Rasa Bihari, along with 2 gopis, Valita and Vishaka. So this is the deities also in Juhu, Bombay. Hare Krishna. So we have so many different deities. You can see over here on this wall is Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Lord Jagannath, worship of Lord Jagannath as done in Jagannath Puri is also very popular in our different ISKCON centers. These deities of Jagannath, this photo is taken from our Baroda center. We have a nice temple there in Gujarat, Baroda, and they have a big Rath Yatra every year. Just like we also try to celebrate Rath Yatra here, right? And wherever we have the Jagannath deities. Of course, usually here in this place, the Rath Yatra is done inside, not outside, right? Inside, right? But it's very blissful, everyone enjoys. If you go to Singapore, they have Rath Yatra in a football stadium. They rent a football stadium and they bring the chariot and they go around the football ground. And so, according to the place, not everywhere can we have it like in Jagannath Puri, with a big road to go down to the Gundicha temple. But the idea is to worship the Lord according to our means. Everyone can keep a small temple in your home, just like here. And Prabhu's home, he has a nice temple, there's altar here. You can have like this, you can have a smaller one, you can have a bigger one. Every individual has their own taste. And this way you can make your home like a temple. You don't have to always be going to temples. Your home can be the temple. Actually, we want to make the body the temple because Lord Krishna is in the heart of everyone. So Lord Krishna is in our heart. We have to make the heart nice and clean. And how to do that? By chanting the holy name. The chanting of the holy name is very important in this Kali Yuga. This is the only way in which we can really progress in our spiritual life. And to help us to chant the holy name, we need association with the devotees. Just like this evening, devotees came and someone brought madanga and harmonium and the kirtan became so melodious. So like that, you may only clap your hands according to your ability, different people. Some people have more facilities. They have the harmonium, madanga, kartals. Other people, you just have the devotion. That is the important thing. It's not so much the different instrument, but what's important is that we have the devotion, we have the mood to want to chant the holy name and to hear the holy name. So Kali Yuga done Hari Nam Sankirtan. The Kali Yuga, the process in this age is Sankirtan. And we're having the Sankirtan in so many different homes here in this part of the world. The devotees told me during the month of Kartik, they will have program. How many different homes? Last year 8,000. Oh, so last year 8,000 different homes. There was Kirtan. And there was offering of lamps. So this is very wonderful. And of course, different parts of the world, it's also going on. When I'm usually based over in Hong Kong, and in Hong Kong during this month of Kartik, we'd go out every day in the street of Hong Kong there in Kowloon, and we'd have a little altar, we bring pictures of Damodar, and we have little candles, and we get people to offer their candle to Lord Damodar. And we get many people right there on the streets. They come and they offer their candle to Lord Damodar. And they're happy to do it. So, this is the custom during this month. You get a lot of blessings by doing these simple activities. The blessing you get is you get rid of our sinful reactions. The different things which we've done in the past, maybe past lives also, we get rid of these sinful reactions. And it's done very simply, just by offering a little candle, by making a little effort to devote ourselves to the worship of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is the controller of the material nature. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacha. This material nature is moving under my direction. So material nature is under Lord Krishna's control. And if we surrender to Lord Krishna, then Lord Krishna will free us from our entanglement in the material energy. We can be relieved of all the different karmas which are keeping us in this material world and which are bringing us so many troubles and difficulties. This is the power of Lord Sri Krishna. He is so powerful. So we want to take shelter of Krishna. You can do it very easily by chanting the holy name. So we're very glad so many of you could come here this evening to chant with us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Does anyone have any question?
Maharaj.
Yes?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, which is the instruction which Prabhupada gave to you, which you keep meditating?
Which instruction did Prabhupada give? Prabhupada said, you've already wasted so many lives in the material world trying to enjoy sense gratification. So he said, just give this one life to Krishna.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
So I'm trying to give this life to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.